All righty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into some TA. All right, guys, since it is Friday and we have the weekly update coming out tomorrow, we are going to be hitting it with a early upload. All right, guys, so some intraday analysis we got going for you guys today. We will start off with the indices, check out the big boys, check out the chips. Got Bitcoin right after that. Then we'll have an early watch list going into next week for you guys with some juicy trade ideas that I think are ready to go. All right, let's get into it, guys. We're going to start off here with the daily time frame. I understand there's a lot of lines here. We're going to, the real bread and butter of these indices, they're going to be on the smaller time frames. That's what, gave these moves away. And yeah, that's that. All right. But as you guys can see, we had a massive bearish engulfing candlestick yesterday, and it does look like, guys, SPY wants a new high above 462.33. That is what it's looking like to me at this point in time. That is why I'm making this video, and I am just going to go over what I am watching here in the indices, all right? So it does look like we are pushing up to a new high. The question is, do we aggressively sell off into the close today, all right? If we can get this bearish engulfing candlestick, and then we somehow have, buyers pushing back up, and then boom, sellers shove you back down, and somehow we end at like 558 around there, then guys, that's not going to be a good look. All right. That is not going to be a good look heading into next week. And that will close us out with, not the best weekly candlestick over here. All right. We're going to have a large upper wick going on here. But as of right now, guys, I am just going to say, price has gotten above the 0.786 fib. If this was going to be just a retracement of this move here, you are very likely going to see sellers step in right here around 561. What have they not done? They did not start stepping in around 561, all right? You've gotten a 15-minute close above that 0.786 fib. Any pullbacks, in my opinion, are going to turn into buying opportunities, just like it looked like this was going to be. All right, so I did share my thoughts yesterday. I did say, hey, all right, I do think we're going lower from here, but I don't think it's a good idea to start just shorting this thing. We had 15-minute bullish divergences going on over there on QQQ, and what told us to be cautious on the long side right at the tippy top. We had a 15-minute bearish divergence. Let's finish off with SPY so we can get over and talk about QQ, because that's where the real clean price action is happening currently. All right, so SPY, guys, from here to here, you retrace the move. You came down to the golden pocket. You based here. You have an inverse head and shoulders pattern going on here. You broke above that neckline this morning. You gapped above it, came back to retest it, and then you went off to the races, all right? You went level to level above 558.24. Guess what the next level was? It was going to be 559.13. Above there, you were watching up here in the golden pocket, all right? So you did not have sellers stepping in at any of these levels, which does tell me, guys, it does want to push up to a new high. That is just how it's looking, okay? You don't typically get this to just turn into a retracement. It can, all right? But we're going to need you to really get sucked back down by the end of the day, all right? So, I'm going to just tell you guys what to look for. If price closes out near the highs, that is bullish into next week. That means yesterday was a bear trap. That means anybody who went short, let's just, talk about it. This was the opening hour candlestick. Okay, guys, we got to think it's 8 bars in a day here. 6 bars in a day here. Okay, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 7 bars in a day. All right, guess what? One out of 7 of those candlesticks, you could have taken a short position, and you would, I'm not even going to say you're going to be profitable, because, you take it anywhere in this body, you're back to break even right here. And that's without using options. Or you tie into options, tie into theta into your equation. Yeah, no, you're underwater right now. Okay. So I will say, yeah, this did turn out to be a giant bear trap, and it does look like we are continuing off to the races. All right. If you close out near the high today, look for continuation. If you get sucked back into it, we will review in the weekly update, and that will not be the best look. If you get, like I said, get sucked back down into, 558, something like that, you're going to have a large upper wick on the daily candlestick there, and that's not going to be the best look going into next week. But I will tell you guys, hey, we got some real juicy looking charts for you guys today. And honestly, guys, I do think this thing wants to push back up to the highs and just keep going with this rally. That's how it's looking to me. All right, guys. So the levels to really be watching from right where we are right now is 562.33. If we pull back, what's the level you're going to be paying attention to? All right, there's 557.75 down there, but honestly, guys, it does not look like it is going to get back down there. You don't have structure built up down here. The only thing I can really point to is right there. All right, so let's actually take off that level right there. We're watching 558.20 if it decides to pull back. That would be a $3 pullback from the current price. Okay, but other than that, you don't have any structure built along this rally. There's no retest level besides that to go off of. So that is, I know, guys, it's pretty wide, margins there to the downside, and that's pretty close to the upside level right there. But that is just how it is because of the way this decided to shape up. Now, moving over here to QQQ, I am going to start off here with the daily time frame. We're going to point out massive red wide-bodied bar, bearish engulfing candlestick, heavy volume. Okay, same thing. We got the heavy volume going over here. Okay, heavy volume going on over here. Look at these. These things actually marked your bottoms over there with these big red volume spikes over there. Okay, so you closed out the day right on your 491 support, 491.17. It was the high of this candlestick right over there. Okay, and then you also closed right on your 9 daily moving average, or it's your daily 9 EMA. Come down here to the hourly time frame. You could see what happened here. You did end up finding buyers on support, but in reality, this is the thing right here that we mentioned in yesterday's video that did give this move away. Guys, we get cautious on the long side when you have a 15-minute bearish divergence. That literally told us right here. Right here, you had your 15-minute bearish divergence pop up over here. What happened? You pulled back. Yeah, you're right in the 9. You're right in the 9. Boom, you pop up to new high. What happens? You still hold that divergence. Okay, now you got the triple bearish divergence, all right? So this is when I told the Discord, I was like, hey, all right, it's holding the 9 right here. You get under the 9. That's when things look ugly. You stay above the 9, not so bad, okay? But you also had a level to be paying attention to over here. And, if I'm just looking at this chart again, it was probably 502 I had marked out yesterday, okay? Guess what happened? You started losing that thing and you died. Okay, you just started dying. Now, on the downside right here, what are we going to be paying attention to now that we have started this bounce? We're going to be watching for the retest of 495.08 to 496.24 demand zone. Yes, I said demand. Okay, it should have been demand here. You got underneath it. It should have acted as supply. It started to. You got some sell orders going on here, but in reality, you based right around there, and then you took off the races. Okay. It's not looking so bad, guys. It does look like you are going to push up to 498.77, and that is that level right there that is going to align with what time frame was I using when I put this level on my chart, man? Was it this? What was I using? No, guys, it's not the level we're paying attention to. We're paying attention right here. Okay, 498.39. That is the level I'm paying attention to. I do think that will be tested. I don't know if it comes with after a retest of this zone right here and then we push up, but you do expect sellers in this golden pocket. So if sellers don't start stepping in at 498.39, look for them to step in between 580 and 498.65. That is that on QQQ. IWM, guys, this is where the party's at. This is where the party likely will stay for the coming weeks, okay? I'm actually going to start off with the weekly time frame here, and you can see this thing has a big breakout in the making right now this week. 4 hours 57 minutes from now, that candlestick will close, and it's likely going to be above 212.25 from the looks of it. We mentioned in yesterday's video, get above 212.25, and I will put some targets that we can go off of on the board. As you can see right here, we have done so. 215.82, 219.90, 222.80, and 227.13. Those were taken from the daily time frame, and you can see right over here if you would like to mark those level for yourself. Okay, so that is what I'm paying attention to over there. 222.80 right there. Let's clean that up. All right. But in reality, guys, this is a massive breakout. It could consolidate here for a few weeks and then launch, but hey, this thing has a long time coming. All right, a long time coming this was, okay? This is a breakout for 840 days, guys. That is over 2 years of consolidation here, and now you're pushing back up into this range. we're going to have sellers stepping in this range. You had a lot of price action going on here for quite some time. I think it was like a year-long range. Year-long range, and then you broke down from it. You had the 2-year-long range, you know, the little base action you got going on here. And, you know, if you really want to get technical about it, all right, just looking at this weekly time frame, guess what? You based right above the previous top of that range, okay? Like, you know, it really loves its freaking ranges. Range, big leg, all right? Strong move, range, break and retest from the bottom of the range right here. Sold down, top of previous range, ranged out. Now you are breaking out of that. It is looking so sexy, it's ridiculous, all right? So I do think this is where the party will be over the coming weeks and months. That is that. We are clearly seeing rotation. I do not think that is a negative thing for the market. I think this is great. We will have focus on the small caps over the coming weeks. And that is, you know, just my game plan there, all right? I have a small cap setup for you in this video. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I got 2 of them. All right. But yeah, IWM on the downside, guys. If it does pull back, we're watching 209.77 and 212.25, specifically 212.25, because that's where you want to close above today for this weekly breakout to be confirmed. Let's say you pull back next week into here, big buying opportunity, in my opinion, because it's probably going to form like a hammer candlestick and then you go up. I'm just saying, guys, you don't put in these sticks without continuation. Okay, you get your pullback. Probably going to be continuation. You have a big stick, pullback, big pullback opportunity. In the end, you know, you closed out the week right there, $8.60. That is a big move. Imagine being able to capture that move, and it goes something like that. All right, so that's what we're paying attention to over there on IWM. Moving on to DIA, we told you guys how it was looking as of this day right here. It popped above this, you know, little pennant it had going on here. You had this little, I know you got the channel, but you also had boom, 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 boom. We pointed out you had the little false breakout going on over there, okay? But as you could see, you went boom, and above 395.59, it was looking very likely that you want a new high above 401. We are now pushing 401, guys. The upside is not done for the day. The fact that this is still not above 401 tells me the indices probably are going to continue higher from where they are right now. You got SPY looking like it wants to go back up and take out a high. You got DIA doing what we just showed. QQQ is the laggard right now, but you know, even that, you have, you know, the spot we expect to be tested, it's still sitting above. So yeah, guys, more upside is incoming in my personal opinion, and that is that. We come over to Mr. VIX, guys. What happened to Mr. VIX? I know that things are loading, but guys, we popped up to the top of the range and we, you know, we sold it down. Okay, we sold it down. 1325, the high of this candlestick right here, that is what I'm using as the top of the range. The bottom of the range is this low right here at 1188. It does look like it is coming down to the bottom of the range once again, guys. Once again, and holy sweet baby Jesus, the 15-minute RSI is at 15. Hourly RSI is about to get oversold. We could potentially start seeing that bounce and then put in some sort of divergence as SPY goes and runs it up to a new high. And then, you know, maybe we see a SPY pullback. It scares people. People are like, oh, we're dying again. We're dying again. And then, boom, that dip gets bought up to a new high as well. That is just what I'm expecting, okay? SMH, guys, we're going to kick it off with the chips right here. I told you guys, the fact that we got up to this high right here told me, hey, all right, we probably aren't going to see a double top play out. So we were looking to be bullish as we tested 268.14 and 263.08. I understand that did not get tested. It does not look the worst to me. If you do somehow stall out today here and you pull back, we're still watching the same exact thing right here. Golden pocket, 263.08. That is that golden level, top of this range right here that I think will very likely be respected. But in reality, guys, it does look like you want to go back off to the races here. All right, does not look the worst. In the weekly time frame over here, guys, weekly candlestick, I'm not going to say it's looking bullish. I'm not going to say it's looking bearish. We're going to call it neutral, okay? Not looking too bad out of the chips over here. MU, guys, you are getting that little pop back. You're very clearly developing this range here. Whichever way this breaks, it's going to be a big break. So if you break down from this, you probably are going to come down to like 120 to, you know, I'll probably say 120 to 123. Let's just look at how big is the range, okay? $6, so you break underneath the range. $6, yeah, 123-ish over there. You break above, guys, we're coming, you know. Well, I mean, in all honesty, you're probably just going to push up to the golden pocket. Golden pocket's up here at 145. So, you know, that's a decent move right there. Okay, guys, really not looking all that bad over here on MU for the time being. You're just consolidating this range. I'm going to wait patiently for the buying opportunity if it presents itself over there. And that is that. Coming over here to NVIDIA, guys. NVIDIA did end up holding the 128.12 level, the top of the previous range. That is where you are getting buyers stepping in from. Okay? I am just going to say I was bullish on this pullback here. If you started, you know, really selling here, getting down into this golden pocket, you're probably going to have this hourly RSI sitting in oversold territory, and then this 4-hour RSI with extended hours. It was probably, all right, you get to the bottom of the range over here, probably going to be all the way in oversold territory. And that point, it's just a buy it, in my opinion. This is, you know, NVIDIA here, the beast, the monster we're talking about. You get your 4-hour RSI oversold. These have been the buying opportunities over the past few years, all right? Same thing on, you know, all the big boy tickers. We actually got one of those and I pounced today on it, you know. Maybe you guys did too. I did post it on Twitter, guys. Quick little plug. If you aren't already following the Twitter, go check out the link below and there will be the Twitter. If you want to come trade with me, the Discord link will always be down below in the description. But I did post this, we'll talk about in a little bit. I posted that opportunity over there on Twitter, okay? Moving on to AMD over here, guys. AMD looks like it wants to bust above 187.24 if it can. The little engine that could, then hey, 195 incoming. But quite frankly, guys, you know, hey, this thing is it's sitting in overbought territory. Let's just reference the past over here. It's probably going to be a grinder. All right, it, like, you know, maybe it does make that move over the next few weeks. But, you know, it probably is going to be a grinder, and you probably just end up at 195 over the next, you know, maybe 1 to 2 weeks, we're going to say. All right, so it does look like it's going to continue. Definitely going off this weekly candlestick, it looks like it's going to continue unless you saw massively into the close. But I would start, you know, pumping the brakes over here on AMD if you start getting into that golden pocket. No reason to not put on some caution here on the long side. That's that. SMCI, guys, another day of just consolidating. You have this 4 to 5 day range going on here. You are looking like you want to bust up. I'm not going to cap. All right. You look like you want to bust up. Daily RSI is not overbought. We've seen this thing, you know, in these cycles. It likes getting overbought. It's not there yet. Okay, and quite frankly, the fact that, you know, you look like this, hit it with the break and retest, held the uptrend right here, and then continued on your way, and now you're trying to break out again, just this time consolidating, not getting slapped down, slapped freaking silly over here. Yeah, this thing doesn't look so bad to me. Am I going to touch it? No, I'm not going to put my money on this thing, all right? This thing is, I will wait for the safe opportunity like I took today on Meta, all right? I see no reason to play this thing right now, but I will tell you, all right, if you're, you know, that guy who wants to step up to the plate, yes, it does look like it is going to, you know, make a break for the upside here. You've already broken out here from this downtrend / pennant. And yeah, I do have to assume that we are probably going to be pushing up to 1,020.33. TSM, all right. Came back down to the 9, found buyers. You are respecting that previous, you know, breakout level over here on the weekly time frame. If you close like this, guys, this will not be the worst look, and we probably do head up to a new high next week, or we just hit it with some consolidation here, and then we push up from there. Things aren't looking bad to me as of right now. And keep in mind, it is only 11:12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got plenty of time left in the day. But hey, SPY is at 561.62. QQ is back almost at 498 right now. IWM sitting at 214. DIA is almost at 401 at a new high. I don't think we're going to randomly just sell off from there. I don't. I really don't. These things don't look too bad. All right, now let's go over the big boys. You got Amazon down here. I'm still just going to point out the major buying opportunity. If it comes down here at 188.65, I know Mr. Bezos was selling. I don't know if that's done yet. I hope he keeps selling so we get that opportunity right there. I think that is hey, that is the spot to you know, make a big trade right there. That is my opinion, okay? Microsoft, not looking all so bad here on the daily time frame, guys. You came down to support here. Okay, I understand you didn't quite test it. Okay, but you're really not looking all that bad. And if you do get that sell-off, guys, I will be watching this 4-hour RSI. I'm going to put an alert on over here. Okay, we're going to do that. We're going to do crossing. Okay, we're going to put you at 35. Okay, we're going to come down there. You're going to be sitting down there. I want to see it if it comes right there. Okay, I will start looking for something, a setup to go off of on the smaller time frames. Quite frankly, to me, you close out like this, you open your room up to take back this bearish candlestick. You open the room for bulls to have a full, retracement of that. That is what I'm looking at. But I will say, all right, very lackluster volume. But again, it's 11:14 a.m. You would just expect a little more volume than that. But, who cares? Okay, who cares? At the end of the day, it is what it is. Apple. Okay, guys, you don't want to retest that level at 220.20. I wanted to. It doesn't want to. Okay, it wants to continue. You close out on the weekly time frame like this. All right, if you don't sell off drastically into the close, this thing is looking like it wants to continue higher next week without that pullback to 220.20. If it comes, of course, we're ready for it. We got the alert. I will let you guys know when it's coming into that level. But hey, all right, it does not look like it wants to come into that level, and that's that. Goog, guys. Goog. I'm still going to be watching this 179.95 level down below on the weekly time frame here. It's not the best look. It looks like it could, you close out like this. It looks like you could consolidate here. You could just hit it with another stick, but this reminds me of these times over here where you hit it with the big move up, consolidated, and then another big move up. Consolidated, big move up, consolidated, and then you start moving up again. All right, so consolidation, maybe consolidation pulls back right here. Maybe we don't even get this, all right, and then it goes back up. That's what, this is really, reminding me of those past occurrences there. But, overall, guys, market ain't looking too shabby in my personal opinion. Let's look at the bit of corn. Bitcoin is still just busting around in this range. It's having a dance party of its own. It's going off the freaking walls. What are those walls? The top of the range and the bottom of the range. Okay, you are literally just dancing around this range, and when you can get a breakout, okay, you get a daily close above 58488. That is when things get spicy. If you can then reclaim 59313, you could see this is a level that's being respected here. It was the low of this candlestick. It's very clearly being respected. Guess what? That is when things really get real. You're probably just going to break out from this downtrend, this descending parallel channel, and then you probably are going to make a straight up run for 63,794. I'm not saying that happens. Close out with the hammer candlestick, and it will not be the worst look. You see this hammer? It led to some more movement, okay? See this lower wick? It led to some more movement. See this one? It led to some more movement. This one led to some more movement. So, if you close out like this, buyers will, show that they're in control. They probably do push price higher the following trading session, which will be tomorrow. I know it's a Saturday, so we will see, all right? But on the weekly time frame, this is how, Bitcoin is shaping up. We'll see what happens over the weekend. It ain't looking too bad to me. You're on the daily time frame. That is that. Okay, CLSK guys, you're still just, you're making your bounce off of your support 1503 down here. I told you the level to watch. We're still paying attention to it. Now the big buy here, if it gets down there, is going to be 1391. That's when, put on some, you don't have to do anything, no financial advice. But that's when, I would be comfortable. Let's put on a crap ton of size over here. It's the same thing I was just showing you on Amazon. These things make me comfortable when I see the 4-hour RSI oversold. Why? I can't explain, guys. Okay, I can't. I am more comfortable knowing I get a good deal on a condition that I know I backtested and used and experienced for years now. I feel so much more comfortable doing that than riding into new highs. Even though we have a very strong uptrend, like over here, I feel much more comfortable making the buy down here, okay, than, just riding short-term cons like that. I just, that's my style. Everybody has their own style. That is my style, okay? I just know when things are, looking good. It's from, past experience. And that, you get down here, things will be looking good. Mara, guys, you still are just consolidating here. I'm going to just reference the weekly time frame. Literally just hitting it with this more consolidation. I would have liked the breakout last week. All right. I actually took, a half size position off that. I'm going to just wait until, I think we're probably going to see Bitcoin break up over the coming, days into next week. And then I do think these miners probably will get they will catch a bigger bounce here. So that is what I'm looking for. Coin over here, guys. Weekly time frame is not necessarily, pretty. Daily time frame is also not necessarily pretty. You got this downtrend, you broke out of it, and I thought you'd get more of a bounce than that. But hey, in reality, it is going to go off of Bitcoin. You were just continuing to hold the golden pocket here. Okay, you're dancing around in it. I'm not going to say what's going to happen in the short term here. I'm definitely going to say, hey, all right, you see this 4-hour RSI down here, just like you saw it over there. That's your buy. You see that happen right when you're on the 0.786 fib down here at 210. That's your buy. All right. Underneath that level, we probably are going to revisit 187.39 down here. It was a major weekly breakout level right over there. And just to show that it was respected, you got that going on right there. I don't know why all those arrows are there. No, I do know why the arrows are there. That's when you gap down and then you hit it with the green close there. Okay. Did we get that over here? We got the gap down, hit it with the green close. We did get that upside the next day. It was not the $5 to $10, all right? So, hey, all right, the condition that I was back testing over here with all these arrows, you know what? It didn't even pan out, all right? So that just goes to show you guys, not everything is going to be perfect. It's just not, all right? And that's why I stay away from coin. I don't feel comfortable using this. These premiums are always freaking juiced. All right, that's why I like CLSK. I like Mara a little bit, but in reality, Mara's been really complacent over here, just doing absolutely nothing. CLSK, I know, hey, you get complacent, you kind of pull the spring back, you spring load the guy, and then boom, it likes to have these rips, and I like to play those rips. But over here on coin, guys, these rips, honestly, they won't even make you a lot of freaking money unless you're playing weekly. So, I will cover it because other people watching, this is the main guy. But in reality, I don't like it. So that's that. Riot, guys, I do like how you're shaping up over here on the weekly time frame in the bottom of the range over here on Riot for a push up to the top of the range at 11.17, guys. That is like a 15% move, 17, 15, 20% right there. And that is that. All right, guys. Now let's go over some trade ideas and early watch list going into next week for you guys. All right, let's get after it. I mean, it's for me too, but obviously, hey, I'm conveying the info to the people. So it's for you guys, all right? I will be watching what I watch all the time anyway. That is that. Target, all right? Target, guys, all right? I've actually taken off most of this trade, but I will just tell you guys, I think this thing is about to make a push for 155.80. You see this guy on the weekly time frame. This thing's looking freaking juicy, all right? So I think we probably are hitting that next week, but, probably in the same week when you hit that, probably pushing up to 162.21. And in the end, you're going to look for a retracement of that whole move, which is, guys, that's all the way up there, 165. Not looking bad over there on target. I would have, entered not here, okay? Either take the entry here or take the entry here. Whatever your cup of tea is, I would not be just taking the fresh breakout here, but it is respecting the break and retest, and I like the set on the weekly time frame, so that's that. Now let's talk about Mr. Meta, okay? Now, Mr. Meta, this is one that just presented that opportunity that I was speaking of, okay? So this 4-hour RSI, I understand you bounce back like that. Well, before that freaking, $10 move right there, that thing was in oversold territory, and your boy bought some, okay? I am just going to put it out there. There are the big boy tickers, Meta, Amazon, Apple, Goog. Amazon, no, I said Amazon. There's one I'm missing of the big boys. Goog, Amazon, Apple, Meta. Now, maybe that's all of them. All right. And then NVIDIA and some of the chip stocks will follow this pattern. A lot of stocks follow this pattern, but a lot of the Bitcoin stocks follow the pattern. You see this 4-hour RSI oversold. You got to make sure you have extended trading hours on instead of regular trading hours because it's completely different. All right. A lot of these like to respect the hourly RSI, but, extended hours, 4-hour RSI, the thing likes to literally just come down and tap it. And those are your major buying opportunities. Now, unfortunately, there are earnings over here on this guy. Yeah, July 31st. So the furthest out expiration you can do without catching that premium spike for the earnings, because this thing likes to move massively off earnings, as you guys could see, massively. Guess what? That's going to be the July 26th expiration. So unfortunately, you got to take the shorter term trade here. I understand it's the, major buying opportunity there, and you don't get it too often, but, you got to take the shorter expirations on these. Unless you want to just eat the premium, you're just probably not going to see much gain on that. Just my opinion there. Look at that thing. Okay. I'm going to be honest. You close out like this, I think you are going to get some upside next week. All right. You can see where it's consolidating at. This is also right there at that 3 to 4 week range. Okay. I like what I see here. Okay. It came right back down to support. All right. I was looking for 510 personally. That's what I wanted on my trade. You got pretty close to it. Took off half. I like how I'm looking. And that's meta. Okay. Target. No, not Target. SoFi. Sorry, we just went over Target. I got them all next to each other. SoFi, guys. I know this daily chart right here. I know it kind of looks ugly. I understand. I also just took off most of this. I think we're going to get a retest. Okay. Weekly time frame. This thing looks like it is getting ready for the big move. All right. Just my opinion. All right. It looks like, you had this consolidation. You broke out this week right here. Next week was a 20% week. Now, we haven't had any 20% weeks yet, like, just to push up out of that consolidation. You had a 14% week. We didn't get that, okay? We haven't gotten one of those guys yet. We haven't had in a while over here on SoFi. I think the time for SoFi is loading. I think it's like right now. I think it's like next 1 to 2 weeks. We're going to start seeing this thing shape up here on the daily time frame. Maybe you pull back into this 661 level right here, okay? And from that point, I think you probably get a straight up push to 743 to 764 up there, okay? And if you want to, know how I make everything so neat, guys, there's a thing over here. I know you guys can't see it, but when I drag my thing over here, I hit this magnet, all right? There's a magnet tool in TradingView. From that point, you can hit your horizontal ray up here. And boom, you could just go over thing and it's so clean. And then you want to know how to make clean zones. You go to the top of this guy, you go to the top of this guy, you scroll over here. There's your clean zone and it's perfect. All right. So, if you ever want to know how to make clean charts, that's really all it is, guys. This magnet tool is really nice. Very nice. But SoFi, guys, you guys can clearly see what I see here on the weekly time frame. You have a hammer candlestick off of increasing volume here. And guess what? All this consolidation, what does that usually lead? Guys, it leads to a move up. And if you are just going to take that move to there, the golden pocket's right here. The only reason it looks like it's in the middle is because we're on log scale. And when you were down here, you were $5. And, that was a big old move. Okay. But you're literally finding buyers in the golden pocket. You breaking out of this falling wedge pattern. All right. You broke above, your little zone you had to reclaim up here. Got the neckline of this the ugly double bottom you got going on here. Neckline was right here at like 666. Of course, guys, we see that so freaking often when we're doing our charting, guys. Is this a sign? Crap, man. I try and be a positive person. Oh, well, maybe all that stuff doesn't mean anything because I really do try and be a positive person. I don't know. But hey, it be what it be. All right, guys, but those were the big ones that I am seeing that are, loading / in play right now. And we see Upstart. All right. Now, what I like over here is the weekly time frame. You broke out from this wedge. I remember calling it out. I thought we were going to have, a big move to the upside here. You only got your 20% move. When I say big, I mean that. Okay. This whole run was a 140% run. If we run like that, it's coming up here. I am just saying, we're going to put on a level. It's right here. That is the weekly level that we got to get over. But if you really want to just look at this, right there, there are 2 levels you want to get over here on Upstart. And if you can, things get real freaking spicy. You've been basing out here for weeks and weeks and weeks. All right. We're talking 140 days, guys. That is almost half a year. Okay. We're going to say this was like 2/5 of a year. It was 3/7 of a year. Okay. Guess what? Increasing volume, big wide-bodied bar testing, the range here, the top of the range. This thing wants to break out. All right. So I see buyers stepping up to the plate here. I think we probably get, either some consolidation in the zone to go off of, or we see a breakout and then it consolidates right here. But quite frankly, guys, I do think this is getting ready for a big move. And from that point, we could look for some further upside here. I would really say, 36.96 on the weekly chart. That's the level that's really sticking out to me. All right. You got this level over here. But, if you're taking it above there, you got to use that as your target. You would just be targeting this golden pocket up there. Okay. 36 to $43. That is a pretty big move. Okay, you get up there. That's a pretty big. This right here, that is also a pretty big move. That will have you up so much, even if you are buying weeks out, like I typically like to do. That's that. All right, guys. So that is what I have for you guys today on our early upload. It is currently only 11:28 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have plenty of time left in the day, approximately 4.5 hours left in the day, for things to shape up and change. Okay, we in the beginning of the video, we went over exactly what we're paying attention to. We know if this thing takes out the high and then closes near the high, okay, we have a bullish look going into next week. This weekly candlestick will close out again, just like this weekly candlestick. We all saw what happened after last week because we all just saw this week. Okay, even with this massive red candlestick, you still are closing out like you're trying to close out at the highs. Okay, bulls want this. They want this on the larger time frames. Trend will be your friend until the end. I understand this sounds cliche and maybe you don't want to hear it, but in reality, it's a saying that works. It is. And the only reason it's been around so long is because over this massive period of time the market's been open, guess what? The trend has remained your friend until the end, and it will keep doing so, okay? We had a bearish trend to go off of in 2022. Ever since then, we are in a bull trend. Okay, we are in a bull trend, an uptrend, a bull market, a strong market, whatever you want to call this, all-time high market. Let's freaking go, guys. All right, there's no reason to be bearish on this thing. I'm gonna be straight up. I was hoping we'd get that deeper opportunity. I really freaking did. I was waiting and I was ready to deploy if we got down here. Okay, we didn't get down there. We didn't. And guys, by the way, 4-hour RSI, I told you guys about it on the on some of those select tickers. All right, like the big boys, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Apple, some of the chips, some of the Bitcoin stocks, a lot of these heavily traded stocks that have large market caps, those like the mega cap stocks, those are going to follow those. But guess what also follows this to a T? SPY and QQQ. All right, so you know dang right, guys, we'll be watching for this condition if it comes. I was hoping we were going to see it come, or at least get a test over here at 550. We did not. We did not. It was okay. All right. In the end, you popped right back up. So that sucks for us, but it's okay, guys. We keep going. We roll with it. Small caps will be the focus. All right, moving forward. Why? Because hey, IWM is doing some crazy things. All right, some crazy things. It literally doesn't matter how you close out that daily candlestick as long as you close above 212.25. And from that point, let's say you got a little wick here. Maybe we pull back here to 209.77. Let's get that. All right, let's buy that. Underneath that, the next pullback point, pivot point, will be 207.56. That's where we're paying attention here on IWM going into next week if we get a pullback. All right, guys, with that being said, I will catch you on the next one. Thank you for spending so much time with me, this lovely 38 minutes we got together. All right, guys, if you guys do enjoy our market prep together, please remember to leave a like. And hey, if you got other people you could share this with, if you want to post it on your Twitter, post it in communities, post it wherever you want, all right? If you think people will benefit, if you know, only if you think people will benefit. If you don't think they'll benefit, don't share it around. Please don't, all right? We don't need no negative Nancy's that, are going to be salty at us. But yeah, if you think, hey, if I would be scratching that person's back, hey, share the video with them. I would appreciate it so much. I appreciate you guys so much. I love you guys. And with that being said, I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.